New Directions Publishing is the second oldest independent publisher in the United States, and they publish some of our favorite books. And so today we're talking about New Directions Publishing, the books we've read from them, the books we want to read from them. Welcome back to the Life on Books podcast. My name is Tony. With me, as always, is Andy, a.k.a. Metafictional Meathead. And
how are we doing, Tony?
I hope you guys are into ASMR, heavy breathing and sweating, because we just spent about 45 minutes shoveling Andy out of my driveway, because as many people have done in the past, so there's no shame in it, myself included.
Yeah.
You didn't make it all the way up the hill.
No, because you told me, obviously the viewers at home aren't going to know this, but your driveway is very steep.
Very steep. And long. Not completely straight.
And I, for the most part, have become pretty comfortable coming here weekly.
Sure.
I'm pretty comfortable getting up the top of it.
Yeah.
Like you have to put some mustard on the hot dog. Like you can't just pussyfoot your way up the slope, right?
Yep.
And so you texted me before I get over here, before I left, hey, just a heads up, the top of the driveway is very icy. So I'm used to coming to the top of the driveway, putting a little bit extra gas on it just to get over the hump, and then I'm right in your driveway and I just turn in and park.
Yeah.
Being cautious of the ice at the top of the driveway, I didn't want to do that and end up in your porch.
Yes.
Just launch right off the ice into your kitchen. And I didn't have enough to even get there. I was a little too cautious.
I didn't take that close of a look at it. And so the center of the driveway, where there's a bit of a crown, there is some exposed gravel. But the edges where your tires are look pretty icy still.
Ice, dude. So
this time of year is difficult because it gets very warm during the day.
Yeah.
The snow melts, the driveway gets wet, and then it freezes overnight and just creates a sheet of ice. So.
Yeah. It was. I fell down a couple times.
Yeah, that's a redemption from when I ate leaving your place.
Oh my God, I forgot about that. That was incredible.
Yeah, we were. If you guys remember the episode we did a few episodes back at Andy's place
for my 30th birthday.
For his 30th birthday, I was walking out. It started snowing while we were recording.
Yeah,
and I was walking out of his place fully loaded up with gear.
Yeah.
Camera bag, lights, all tripods, not a single bone in my body not participating in carrying this shit.
Yeah.
And I stepped onto about an inch of perfectly soft powder with nothing but glare ice underneath it.
And just I
thought I was pretty graceful about it, though.
I mean, it was picturesque, old-timey Three Stooges stepping on a banana.
Yeah.
Your feet went out from under you.
Yes.
You... probably about a 2-foot drop.
I didn't slam though. I kind of just rolled or slid.
Yeah. But it was a good fall.
Yeah, I wish it was on camera.
Me too.
It would have made for some great content.
It was one of those perfect moments of when your friend does something stupid or something stupid happens to your friend.
Yeah.
And you're like, "Hey, are you okay?"
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, great. Now I'm just going to spend the next 10 minutes laughing at you.
Yeah, it was very funny.
Was hysterical.
What makes it even more funny is I actually have excellent balance, so I don't fall that often. I sound like an old person,
right? You are an old person, Tony.
It's true. I'm middle aged, so
I do want to throw it out there. I had a couple good saves out there as well today. I fell a couple times, but
did you fall more than once? I only caught one.
I fell twice in the sense that once all the way down, hips in the mud.
Yeah.
Almost went down a second time. Had to put my hands down.
Yeah.
For balance.
Yeah.
But a few other times where I started to slip and move my foot at the right moment, saved myself.
Yeah, so. I mean, and to your credit too, you were in sneakers.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't wear my Crocs.
I was wearing. Well, yeah, you could have put them in sport mode,
but
right?
Still.
Fortunately, I had boots on today. That made a big difference. And then so I got my 4-wheeler out once you kind of get off my driveway. It's hard to get back on, so you clear a little space to back up and get some traction, but then you can't straighten out enough. So we had to clear a log back channel, and I got my 4-wheeler out to do that, and then got my 4-wheeler stuck.
Yeah.
So we did a lot of shoveling.
Yeah, I love New England.
Yeah, it's great.
So awesome.
This has been a brutal winter.
This has been so bad.
And to add insult to injury here, I did not realize that the clocks were going forward today.
Yeah.
So this was the first weekend for Formula One.
Yeah.
I'm a big Formula One fan.
Yeah.
The race was in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And being that they're basically a day ahead, the race was slated, or the schedule said the race was going to start at 9:50 p.m. And I thought, okay, it's an hour and a half. I can stay up to watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
So 9:50 rolls around. That's when the pre-race show started.
Oh, brother.
So the actual race was going to start at 11. And I thought, I'm going to be up till probably 12, 12:30, a little bit later than I want to.
Yeah.
But I'm already up. I might as well just do it.
Right.
So I stay up, watch the race, go to bed at 12:30, and then wake up this morning and I'm like, the clock's at 4.
Yeah.
I slept like 5 hours.
Yeah.
So, it's been a morning. All right. So
Let's get into the books.
Well, weekly reading update.
Yeah. Nothing new for me.
Okay.
Scars by Juan Saer and Bomarzo by Manuel.
Mujica Lainez.
Thank you.
There it is. Yeah.
So
How far into Bomarzo are you?
I've kind of slowed down.
Okay.
Not anything to do with the book. I'm a little bit, probably like 20, 30 pages into section 2.
Cool.
And a little bit maybe just under halfway of Scars.
Okay.
So
What do you think of Bomarzo so far?
I'm into it. I'm enjoying it. It certainly is not exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
Especially like I talked about this last week. Like I've been on this Latin American kick, and we've talked about it in the past about how like there are differences. Like you go read something from Mexico, and you read something from Chile, and you read something from Argentina. Like obviously they're all Spanish, but you get those individual flares or the kind of taste from flavor from each individual country. And I was Lainez is Argentine, and I was sort of expecting something to kind of have that like Borgesian kind of air about it, not necessarily the prose style and what the narrative was going to be like, but just kind of have that flavor about it. And obviously, with the book taking place with the Duke of Bomarzo in Italy, it definitely has more of a Renaissance vibe, which
it reads like a book. It's easy to forget that it was written in the 60s.
Yeah.
It feels very old.
It's easy to forget it's a book that was written in the 60s by an Argentine author.
Yeah.
So
a few people compared it to the Game of Thrones books, whatever those are called.
Oh, really?
The Song of Fire and Ice,
That's cool.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am enjoying it for sure, but that has kind of taken me out at times. Like it kind of just like, wait.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I'm a little bit. I only have just finished the first chapter. It's okay. Like when I'm reading it, I'm like, oh, this is cool. But like, it's one we've talked about this before with other books. When I'm not reading it, I'm not like, ooh, I can't wait to sit down and read Bomarzo.
Yes.
So it's going to be interesting 600-ish pages.
Yeah.
Okay. In addition to Bomarzo, the only other reading update I have is I started this book called False Calm by Maria Sonia Cristoff, translated by Catherine Silver. This is a combination. It's like a semi-real / fiction travelogue. I read she's an Argentinian author as well.
Cool.
It's from Transit Books, and I only read the first chapter. It seems cool. So, that's my weekly reading update. So,
Right on.
Before we get into the actual books that we're going to talk about today, New Directions Publishing, I just did a little quick refresher on their history. Super interesting company.
Yeah.
So they started in 1936, and a lot of people might not know this, that the founder, whose name I'm totally blanking on at the moment, he was friends with Ezra Pound.
Okay, I think I knew that.
And he wanted to be a poet, and Ezra Pound was basically like, I like you, bro, but your poetry sucks.
James Laughlin,
that's right. And he's like, once you graduate college, go find something else to do.
Yeah.
So he's like, okay, well, I want to work in literature. And so he started New Directions Publishing. So they are the second oldest still working independent publisher in the U.S. The only older indie publisher that still exists is W.W. Norton.
Wow.
And I didn't realize that Norton was not an imprint, but Norton is still an independent publisher. And
that's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that either.
Yeah, they started in the 1920s. So the longest ever independent publisher, I'm blanking on what they were called, but they started in the 1700s. and they ran for about 200 years, and then they went out of business.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but W.W. Norton and New Directions
The longest running.
are the longest that are still in operation. So
I'm just looking real quick, and not to cut you off, but Barbara Ebler is the president of New Directions. She became the president in 2011. She started working as an editorial assistant in 1984.
that's sick. The year before I was born.
She's been
That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
She's been at New Directions for 42 years.
that's sick, dude. That's amazing.
That's so cool.
I mean, unfortunately, you don't really hear a lot of stories like that anymore, given the current way the economy and the job market works. And just having any job in publishing these days is really difficult.
Yeah.
But good for her. Good for thank you to her for still doing it, because they're an awesome publishing company. So they've published a few thousand books at this point. They label all of their books by number. So for example, this one here is NDP 1567. So it is kind of fun to see where in the catalog it is.
I don't remember if I said this on the air, but I know I told you, like, I've got some new bookshelves around Christmas time. And if I have a ton of books by a particular publisher, I like to organize all of those together.
Yeah.
And I have enough from New Directions that I did that. And I alphabetized them within that section. And so I put the shelf together. I put all the books in alphabetical order. I realized that I put the shelves together incorrectly, so that the covers were not. It's a spiral one like you have.
I remember this.
So the covers were not facing out, and I was like, that's going to drive me nuts. So I took all the books out. I took the bookshelf apart and rebuilt it. Fortunately, I left the books in order, so it was easy to just boom, 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 kind of plug and play. And then I'm sitting there looking at it, I'm like, I should have gone in numerical order. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
For NDP.
If you ever end up with a lazy Sunday with nothing to do.
Yeah, right.
Nice way to relax after shoveling your car for 45 minutes. So, yeah, in addition to like the history we just went over, I mean, they also publish a lot of work in translation.
Yeah.
A lot of kind of avant-garde stuff. Definitely a publisher that over their history has given a home to really good artists that maybe just didn't have the commercial viability to be picked up by a huge publisher like a Penguin or something like that.
Yeah, I think they're really cool. I forget. I wish I could find it, because it's something that it was something I saw a while ago, but it was just some like one-off post that someone I follow on Instagram made, kind of being like comparing like how I think if most people think about, and I say most people, like our little niche corner of the internet, like when it comes to like transgressive or avant-garde fiction, one of the like top or first publishers people think of is something like a Dalkey Archive.
Yes.
Which is fair. Like they definitely push the envelope with, especially with translated work and stuff like that. But some of the stuff that New Directions puts out is crazy. Yeah. Both, like I said, transgressive and avant-garde.
Yeah.
They really push the envelope. And it's really cool that they do works in English and works in translation.
Before I forget, a gent in our book club who goes by QMass,
okay,
he actually has built a website cataloging all of New Directions books.
That's cool.
Because I don't think it's on their own website, which makes sense. I mean, why list books that are 100 years old,
right?
Or 90 years old.
Yeah.
So if I remember, I will put the link to that before. Let me check with him first, because he sent me the link and was like, "Can you give me some feedback on this?" So I don't know if he's like ready to share it with people, but I think it looked like it would be. So
cool.
Okay, so we're going to talk about some of our favorite books that we've read, and then we're going to go over a few books that we want to read, which is everyone's favorite thing when we talk about books that we haven't read.
Yes.
Just so everyone's clear on this, we will never stop doing that.
No, never ever. It is great content. It might not be great content.
I enjoy doing it.
I enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
And it's very little work on my end. Like I can roll out of bed at 9:00 on a Sunday morning and just pick 3 books that I want to read.
Yeah, I mean,
it's great.
The podcast, I would say, is like an integral part of the whole Life on Books brand, if you want to call it that. However, like we do this because we like doing it.
Right.
And as soon as either of us don't want to do it anymore, we're just not going to do it.
Right.
So we're going to keep doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
Just so we're clear on that. But for those that enjoy it, thanks for being here. And if you don't enjoy it, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You're wrong. We hate you, but like, okay, whatever.
I mean, I wish you enjoyed it, but we can't make everybody happy. So
right.
This is going to be a particularly interesting challenge for Andy because he said he was going to try to avoid a few authors that he's talked about.
Yes.
I just probably exhausted his ability to talk about them at this point.
Yes. So, my challenge to myself for this episode, New Directions Publishing is the English publisher of Laszlo Krasznahorkai and Clarice Lispector.
Yeah. And they publish a lot of Bologna, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I have talked extensively about Krasznahorkai and Lispector.
Yeah.
As they have fallen into the umbrella of like multiple different categories we've talked about.
Yes.
Books in translation in general.
Mm-hmm.
Women in translation, Eastern European, Latin American or South American, whatever we did.
Yeah.
Like so many different categories. So like I've talked about them so many different times.
I thought about trolling you
and just picking.
Well, because I do want it. There are some Lispectors and some Krasznahorkai.
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, no, I'll keep them.
That would have been funny. That would have been a good bit.
All right, so let's get to the first book. So what's your first book that you've read?
So,
actually, before you do that, how many NDPs you've read? I counted mine this morning. It was about a dozen.
Yeah, I want to say 15, 20, somewhere in that range. Because I've read 5 or 6, maybe 7 from Krasznahorkai.
Mm-hmm.
4 to 6 for Lispector. Probably 6 or 7 actually for Lispector.
Did they publish Hour of the Star?
Yeah.
Okay.
A bunch of Bolaños. I'm probably closer to 20.
Okay.
Around there. Now that I have done the math.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense because I knew you had read more than I had, and I counted 11, but I was like, I think there's one that I'm forgetting, and I wasn't sure if Hour of the Star.
Yeah. Plus a couple Lucy's, so I would say 20.
Cool.
So,
all right. So, what do you have for your first book that you've read that you want to talk about?
So, my first book that I've read is Paradais or Paradais. I'm going to assume Paradais by Fernanda Melchor. This is translated by Sophie Hughes.
This was recently read by Anthony Jeselnik's book club.
Yeah.
So, if you guys don't like us, you can go hang with them instead.
But Melchor is a Mexican author. I really wanted to bring Hurricane Season, her other book.
Yeah.
Because this is a phenomenal book. I don't mean to like downplay that the quality of Paradise, but going off of what I was just talking about how New Directions like kind of goes under the radar with the transgressiveness of some of their works.
Yeah.
Hurricane Season is a dark book. Like it's phenomenally written. It's very gripping both in the quality of the writing and the actual narrative itself. But it's fucked up.
So I don't know if you remember when I had kind of put it out there, like who is the woman equivalent of like a Cormac McCarthy?
Yeah.
A lot of people said,
Fernanda
Melchor's Hurricane Season.
I would agree with that.
Probably not for the prose, but maybe for just like the bleakness
content.
of it.
Yeah, it's bleak. Yeah. So, but I want to say like, it's not one single paragraph, but there are long stretches that are unbroken.
Okay.
But it's kind of like a private, gated community with this like teenager that is he's lonely, he's fat, he's addicted to porn, and he's like obsessed with the hot woman that lives next door, and the like one of the like pool boys that works, and like their friendship and kind of this like who obviously would like to shouldn't say obviously, but like has bigger aspirations than being a landscaper at this gated community.
Yeah.
And so this like kind of scheme that they come up with of like the snotty rich kid trying to get laid and the destitute landscaper trying to put some money in his pocket.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, great book.
Yeah, I've heard pretty much universal acclaim for hurricane season, and I've heard a few kind of mixed reviews about this one. But, I mean, that sounds like a fairly interesting.
It is a great book. Hurricane season is the better of the two, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I don't have a copy.
Yeah.
But like, I didn't want to do this episode and not talk about Melchor.
Yeah. Got the hots for the neighbor. That must have hit pretty close to home. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. Yeah, well, she's definitely on my radar. I was kind of pissed because I wanted to grab a copy of it, and Gibson's had a copy, and I had enough stamps for 20% off, but their 25% off sale was coming up, and I thought, I'll just wait to get the extra 5%, and then when the sale happened,
they didn't have it. Yeah.
So
last, she does have a, I think it's like an essay collection.
Oh, cool.
That's out.
Yeah, I've been.
I feel like there's not. I feel like there's a fourth book of hers that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, I've been really into. Well, I say that, but I read Sexographies by Gabriela Wiener last year. That made my top 10, and she's Chilean or Argentinian. And then I also read Grape, The Case for Fiction by Clarke this year, and I really enjoyed both of those. I think I want to read more essays, but it's something that I don't probably do enough of. But
yeah, you should read some of DFW's essays.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, dude, so good.
Cool.
I mean, the only collection I've read is a supposedly fun thing I've never done again. I'll never do again. But that's great. I think I've talked about it before. But like one of my favorite. I mean, so there's the title essay is about him. It's like 100 pages about him going on a cruise.
Yeah.
And then there's another one where he goes to. I want to say it's the Illinois State Fair, but I know it's like one of those Midwestern like state fairs. And just the way he's like observing these people and writing about these kind of like podunky, towny type people
which could describe New Hampshire.
Right.
We have state fairs like that.
Right. And in a way is kind of like poking fun at the absurdity of their lives, but also is still like giving them so much dignity and humanity.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I haven't read it yet, but I've heard so many great things about Consider the Lobster.
Cool.
So
nice.
But all right, you're up.
All right, my first pick is On the Edge of Reason by Miroslav Krleza, who was a Croatian author, and this is translated by Zora DePolo. And this was published, I want to say, in the 1930s. Let me just double check that. 1938. And it's about kind of the fascist government of the region of that time. And there's a guy who's, I forget what he does exactly, but he's like a person of status. Oh, he's a lawyer. And he kind of like loses his mind and gets thrown in prison. Great book. You can see how much I flagged it, even though it's maybe 150, 160 pages. The first 50 pages of this is like some of the best writing. Nice. I mean, the whole thing's good, but the first 50 are like really good. And just kind of like that satirical political vibe that I love. Definitely has some serious themes underneath, but it is quite a funny book. So would highly recommend that one. And I don't think I've read anything else from Croatian, but it's.
I think I have a book from Archipelago by a Croatian author.
Speaking of, did you take a look at the voting results yet from this morning?
When I voted, Man Who Spoke Snakish was still in the lead.
So as we're recording this, our April book club vote is currently happening. It's will be done by the time this episode airs, but let me just pull it up really quick.
Editor Tony here. The April book of the month is going to be Trieste by Dasa Drndic.
So the 4 books we are considering, Trieste by Dasa Drndic, Gate of the Sun by, what's the author's name?
Elias Khoury.
Khoury. He's
Khoury.
a Lebanese author. Radiant Terminus by Antoine Volodine. And The Man Who Spoke Snakish by Kivirahk, I believe is his last name.
Estonian, right?
He's Estonian,
Yeah.
So this has been the closest. So typically what happens is we put it up and like one book gets out in front.
Blows it away. Yeah.
So right now, Trieste has 592 points. Gate of the Sun has 592 points. The Man Who Spoke Snakish has 590 points. And Radiant Terminus has 506. So we use ranked choice voting.
Yeah.
So that's how
crazy.
That's how that's shaking out. So it's going to be interesting to see what wins. Trieste is in first, even though the points are the same as Gate of the Sun, probably because more people ranked it
as their number one.
I would imagine that's how it defaults. But yeah. All right. So what do you got for your next book?
Up next is a little bit of a cheat because New Directions does not publish this author anymore.
Okay.
It is available. It's not completely out of print. It's just under a different imprint.
Okay.
I believe it's Picador now.
Okay.
But this is Amulet by Roberto Bolaño.
The Bologna himself.
And this, who's this translated this by? Chris Andrews.
So you got through No Spectre or Krasnohorkai, but couldn't do No Bolaño.
Correct. I mean, I've certainly talked about Bolaño a lot, but it's generally been the Savage Detectives or 2666. I mean, you close your eyes and pick one of the Krasnohorkais or the Spectres from New Directions. I've probably talked about it.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't want to just like I haven't talked about Near to the Wild Heart much, which was Le Spectre's debut. And it's a great novel, but I didn't want to just, it's a Le Spectre I haven't talked about. Like, let me, so I wanted to give some shine to some other books that haven't necessarily gotten.
And he is your most read author, correct? You've read more of his books than anyone else?
Yes. So it's kind of, so this book is, there's a chapter of the Savage Detectives, or one of the like fragmented sections in the middle where they're kind of the like interrogation or like diary entries or whatever you want to call them, with Auxilio Locutor, who is the mother of Mexican poetry. And it's kind of this like brief little aside about how she's hiding in a university bathroom while the army invades the university.
Nice.
And this is a more detailed account of that story and also her life. And it's just kind of the melancholy and violent history of Latin America and more specifically Mexico.
Yeah.
But, and I think
there's plenty of that to talk about, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I have to think because I feel like Arturo of Savage Detectives fame, and who's a character that's kind of sprinkled like all throughout Bolaño's work, makes an appearance.
That's cool.
So it's kind of spin-off-ish, if you will, of the Savage Detectives, but it's a great novel. You don't necessarily have to have read the Savage Detectives to enjoy this. I certainly think if you have, like, again, it's you get kind of some further perspective of one of the little stories within the Savage Detectives. So, but yeah, it's awesome. It's like about her, like I said, a little further take on the story of her hiding out in the bathroom. And while she's hiding out in the bathroom, she's just kind of like recalling her life, kind of going through these memories of like things that were important to her and stuff like that, and people in her lives and different stories. She's not sure if she's going to survive the night. Yeah. So,
speaking of characters that kind of traverse different novels, but they're not like sequels or whatever, Mario Vargas Llosa did that as well. Death in the Andes, the protagonist in that is a character from one of his other novels.
Oh yeah,
I forget the character's name, but he's a police officer, and you don't need to read the other one to get it. But yeah, it's just kind of fun, I think. So staying on the theme of Latin American literature, this is House of Fury by Evelio Rosero, which I talked about somewhat recently because I read it recently, right at the tail end of 2025, I believe. This is translated from Spanish by Victor Meadowcroft, which is a pretty badass name. So this is a more recent release. This was published originally in Spanish in 2022. And the English translation was from 2025. One of the coolest covers of any book I own. And Rosero is a Colombian author. You could definitely see the Marquez influence. There's even a 100 Years of Solitude reference in the book, which is always fun. Started out super funny. Gets very bleak, very dark. You mentioned his other book that you've read, Tono the Infallible.
Correct.
That's pretty bleak as well, correct?
Pretty bleak from start to finish,
Okay.
with some moments of like kind of dark humor mixed in.
Yeah.
But yeah, cover to cover, bleak.
Yeah, so this is the synopsis in this one's kind of fun. It's about a wealthy Colombian family. The father's like a magistrate or something like that. They have a huge family. They have a huge family house where all the kids live and some of the uncles, and they have servants, and they're celebrating the parents' wedding anniversary, and so they're having this huge party, and all these people come out of the woodwork for the party. So there's just like 100 people at this party, and it's just about all of the infighting between the family members, the friends, but then there's like people who don't like the magistrate because he's kind of a dirty politician, and it's just a wild book. And the last like 50 or so pages are pretty tough because it's just like basically every character just like something terrible happening.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit tricky to keep track of every character, but you also like don't need to remember the specifics too much. But yeah, just a really funny book, but also very bleak. And I thought it was very readable. The type of book that you do want to sit down and pick it up, and I would call it a page turner for the most part.
Nice.
The prose is really, really fun, and it's despite the bleakness of it, it is a fairly easy read as far as the language is concerned. So, and this is NDP 1622.
Oh yeah, Frita. So
yeah, what are yours?
Amulet is 1082. And Paradise is 1557.
Cool. All right. You have a older one there.
Yeah. So this is one of the originals in English publications. I've got The Lime Twig by John Hawkes.
I have a copy of this.
This book is great.
I haven't read it yet.
New Directions has published a lot of his work, most of his work, I believe. There's a few that they haven't, and then most of his novels are pretty short. I mean, this is 75 pages. So I think it's Penguin. Penguin Classics has like a collection where it's like 3 of his novels together. It's the story of this like old kind of older, wealthier couple who basically, I think they either steal or buy a horse and then try to enter it into this race and race it under a fake name to kind of fix the race. And they're wildly in over their head. And then there are some actually bad people, some rapscallions, if you will.
Love it.
Ne'er-do-wells that are that hear about the scheme, or maybe they get kind of like roped in and asked to help a little bit, and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna rake the coals over these Richies." I don't want to kind of spoil too much more than that, but basically, it does not go the way this couple thinks it will, and it's really cool because. I'm trying to see. Yeah, I don't know if the camera will pick it up very well, but each chapter starts with like this, like a newspaper entry.
Oh, that's cool.
I mean, you'll see it.
Yeah.
I don't know if the camera can grab that.
Yeah, that'll get it.
But it's basically like the kind of like column out of the newspaper.
Yep.
That's kind of like, like the sports section, like recapping what's going on at the local track and kind of setting up some of the exposition as it goes into the more like nitty gritty of what's happening to these characters. But Hawks gets put in a lot with the postmodernists of the 70s and the 80s, 60s, 70s, 80s. This book was originally published in 61. Definitely not as like slapstick and goofy, but certainly kind of satirical, kind of mocking, has a kind of macabre sense of humor, and is phenomenally written. So,
have you ever seen Lucky Number 11?
I don't think so.
So if you like horse racing as a motif, it's a great movie. It's got Bruce Willis, Lucy Liu, Josh Hartnett. It's got a huge Morgan Freeman's in it, I think. Huge cast of like people.
Yeah.
And it's loosely about horse racing. One of my favorite movies. I think it's criminally underrated. It I think got like pretty decent reviews when it came out, but it doesn't really like ever make like top movies of the 2000s or whatever.
Gotcha.
I think it was like 2007 or so, maybe when it was released, but that just reminded me of it. So
cool.
Yeah, I'd love to. I should get to that.
Yeah, you should.
Soon.
You would like it for sure, especially. I see the next book you're going to pick, and I know
it's just funny because you were like, oh, this one's in English. I was like, oh, so isn't this one?
Yeah.
Kind of funny how that worked out. So apologies for talking about this book because you literally just can't get it.
Right.
It's almost impossible to find.
I've talked about this before. I have sent my copy to a friend, and I'm glad I did in the sense that like I love sharing books.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that someone who will appreciate it and would not be able to get it otherwise has it now.
But
and I'm not like kicking myself because it's not like one of those like rare books that's like out of print and goes for $400 now.
Yeah.
But like I loved it and I would like to read it again.
Yeah.
So
I'm getting close to do for a reread. But it's Love and Terror by William Herrick. So this is Herrick is sometimes called the
Why is it reminiscent of things that are going on in the world right now?
No, not at all. But yeah, some people have referred to him as the American Orwell.
Yeah.
This was originally published in... Where the hell's the publishing date? Jesus, where is it? Oh, here we go. 1981. Very, very loosely autobiographical.
Yeah.
So this is about political extremists, like legit ones, not the pretend ones that you wore a frog suit.
None of these people are going to the No Kings protest. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. And so William Herrick himself was part of the American Communist Party. Did a lot of probably highly illegal things.
Yeah.
Kind of fell out with where that was heading, and then had this writing career. So yeah, this is just kind of like a pretty action-packed story about political revolutionaries. It's very violent. There's a lot of sex in it.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before, but it kind of starts off as like a little cheesy.
It definitely starts off as like a campy B movie.
Yeah.
And it's not in the sense of like roll my eyes a little bit, but not enough to be like, I don't want to read this. Like I'm putting it, like it's fun.
Yeah.
And then throws gas on the fire and it just roars.
And in the end, I would say it is very well written.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. I think I was a little bit on the fence about it, but I was like, well, it's easy to read and it's entertaining.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll keep going. By the end, I was like, this book is
so
awesome.
Good. So good.
This is number 538. So
this is 95.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. So it's out of print. I don't know what the deal is. I would love to talk to them about it and be like, can you bring this back?
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm assuming the rights have expired, but stuff like that, it's like, who owns the rights and why wouldn't they want it to be republished?
Yeah.
So, Yeah, but who knows? I mean, you never know. Maybe people are just like stubborn and they think they can get more for the rights than what the publisher is willing to pay for it. But yeah, great book.
Well, I remember too, because like I bought this. I think we bought it at the same time.
Yeah, they were having a sale.
They were having a sale, and like everything was like 30% off or whatever it was. And I'm scrolling through, and generally speaking, New Directions books are priced pretty well.
Yeah, I would
like,
say so.
There's very rarely anything that's over $20. But it was all like 15 to 18 in that range before the sale. And I'm scrolling through and I see this one that's like $5.
Was it that cheap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like,
they probably just had it laying around. They were trying to get rid of it.
But I mean, your copy's in better shape. Yours certainly doesn't look brand new compared to the other books that I think we've pretty much all had picked up brand new. But like mine literally looked like someone like found it in the back of a warehouse.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, let's just get rid of it for $5. I mean, the retail price on here is $5.99.
That's amazing.
So
the 80s, what a time.
Yeah.
Bring me back.
Yeah, right. But it's insane.
Well,
and I just remember like I don't even remember if I had I think I like skipped over it. And then you were like, yeah, I bought this one. It sounds great. And I was like, it's $5, add it to the list.
Yeah,
like, why not?
You did a second order, I think.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah. Well, we when we had Chad from Open Letter on and Nick from NYRB, they both said, I had asked both of them, what's like a good volume of sales?
Yeah.
And they said, if a book sells 2,000 copies, we consider that a win, which kind of surprised me.
Yeah.
But let's just like use that as a rough estimate. I mean, imagine like maybe these books were printed in 1981,
right,
in the original batch of 2000, and it's just been sitting there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's the tough thing about books is like they can just degrade just from sitting on the shelf, unfortunately. So
totally.
Okay.
All right.
Now for the part of the episode everyone's most excited for.
The books we haven't read yet.
The books we haven't read yet.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
What do you got first?
So I have got The Wax Child by Olga Ravine. She's Danish.
Let me see that.
This is translated by Martin Aitken. So.
And when was this published and what number is it?
This is... It's not on the spine, so hold please.
And that's you have 3 hardcovers in your want to read stack.
I know. So I don't even see this numbered, but it was originally published in Danish in 2023.
Are we sure it is in New Directions, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay,
it's ND right there.
Okay, all right.
ND Books.
Are the other hardcovers numbered? Maybe it's something they only do for the paperbacks.
It might be something they only do for the paperbacks.
It's kind of
those
weird.
Don't have numbers on them. I'm sure they are like have a number. It's just not on the spine. But I have read 2 previous books by Ravine, The Employees and My Work, which pretty sure New Directions. I know New Directions published My Work.
Mm-hmm.
There was another English publisher that had published The Employees,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was published in English, and then New Directions got the English rights, but I don't want to I'm not 100% certain.
Gotcha.
So, but that is The Employees, if I didn't say it already, and it's hilarious.
Nice.
I wasn't like over the moon about My Work. The writing was really good. Just the narrative didn't really grab me. But this is set in 17th century Denmark, and an unmarried noblewoman is accused of witchcraft, and she and several other women are rumored to be possessed by the devil, who comes to them as a tall, headless man and gives them dark powers. They steal people's happiness, perform unchristian acts, and cause pestilence or even death. And they are in danger of being burned at the stake.
Sick. That sounds cool.
And it's narrated by a wax doll created by the woman accused of being a witch.
Okay.
So
that's certainly a unique plot.
And I've heard it's really good. So
I've only ever read.
That's a dope cover.
Yeah. It's like a smoking casket.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing from Danish I've read, I think, is Rock Paper Scissors.
Yeah.
Which was one of my favorite reads last year.
I've read 3 books.
From
Danish. The 2 that I mentioned, The Employees in My Work, and then What Kingdom.
Who's that by?
Fine. Grable.
Okay.
I don't know the pronunciation.
Fine. Nice.
I'm probably pronouncing the first name wrong too.
Well, I'm gonna.
But that is from Archipelago Books, and it's great.
Speaking of
names
that are hard to pronounce,
sound it out, Big Shoots.
This is Elevator in Saigon by Antoine. This person has one name.
Hell yeah.
I
wish I had one name. I wish I was cool enough for that.
But the translation's by Win On Lee, I think.
Okay.
So here it is. This is Vietnamese literature.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So a young Vietnamese woman living in Paris returns to Saigon for her estranged mother's funeral. Her brother has recently built a new house there, including what was rumored to be the first elevator in a private home in the country. But days after moving in, their mother mysteriously fell down the elevator shaft, dying in an instant. After the funeral, the daughter becomes increasingly fascinated with her family's history and learns the enigmatic figure Paul Polotsky from her mother's notebook. Like an amateur sleuth, she trails Polotsky through the streets of Paris. Meanwhile, she tries to find clues about her mother's past, which zigzags through Hanoi, Saigon, Paris, Pyongyang, and Seoul. Combining elements of the detective thriller, historical romance, and the immigrant experience, Elevator in Saigon is a scathing satire of life in a communist state and a heartbreaking post-colonial ghost story.
Hell yeah.
Sounds pretty cool.
That sounds dope. I want to jump in real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Since mentioning the poll 5-10 minutes ago, there is a new leader.
And it is?
I'm not going to... Oh, actually, this will be out. You're right. Gate of the Sun is on top now.
It was on top for a while yesterday. So.
It has overtaken. It was tied with Trieste at 592.
Yeah.
Gate of the Sun is at 616. Trieste is at 603.
Okay.
The Man Who Spoke Snakish is up to 599.
Okay. It's still close.
So we got about 36 hours left.
No.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, you're right. So this was published in 2013, translated in 2024. And this is NDP 1607. In general, elevators are actually terrifying.
Yes.
When you think about them. I mean, I've seen so many videos. Like, I just saw a video the other day of the elevator door open, and as the guy was stepping out, the elevator just started to go up, and he was millimeters from getting crushed.
That's crazy.
Like sliced in half.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Godly.
And I've seen videos of like people with dogs. You ever seen this?
Yeah. Where the leash gets caught.
The leash gets caught, and like just they terrify me, honestly.
heebie-jeebies for sure.
Yeah. I take the stairs whenever possible. Yeah. The only Vietnamese literature like that's been translated from Vietnamese I've read is The Sorrow of War. Mm-hmm. Oh God, what the hell is the author's name? I can't believe I'm blanking on it.
That's from 7 Stories.
No,
right?
it's not. It's vintage.
Oh yeah. Oh God, dude.
Oh, I guess we just look it up with this device.
But like, it's Ba something, right?
Bao Ninh.
Bao Ninh.
Thank you.
There we go.
Yeah.
We did it.
That's a cool book. It was much different than
Who needs ChatGPT when you can just yell things at your friends?
I was going to use DuckDuckGo, but it's Sorrow of War was good.
Yeah.
Much different than I anticipated. I thought it was going to be a little bit more of like a straight line war novel.
Yeah.
And it's much more like meta.
Right. I remember you telling me that.
I think you'd like it.
Yeah. I have a copy.
Yeah, because Carl from Please Read Your Book sent us the cool vintage, European vintage editions, all the way from China.
Right on.
All right, what do you got next?
All right, up next, I have got...
God damn it.
I have got Shadows and Wolves by William Herrick.
This fucking guy. You want to tell people how you came to own this book?
Oh, yeah. You and I were at a bookstore in Vermont.
Yeah, Monroe Street Books.
Yes.
Excellent bookstore.
Excellent bookstore. And I just happened to see it before you.
Yeah.
I think I beelined it for the H's just to like...
I think it was pretty close to when we had just finished Love and Terror.
Oh, yeah. It was like right around when we had finished it. And Yeah, I just happened to see it before you. There's no other, like, I just got lucky.
Yeah, I've literally never seen any of his books.
Right. And
anywhere.
To this day, I mean, I've had this for a year and a half, 2 years now.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about.
Okay,
we're gonna find out together.
Let's do it.
But I
think this was published before Love and Terror.
What's the date on?
It was 1981.
Okay.
I think Love and Terror was the second they had published from him.
Yeah, this is 80.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah, I wish I could like pat myself on the back for some like crazy scheme, like I outbid you on eBay or something like that. Like, no, I pure luck. It just happened to get to the H section before you did.
Yeah.
So starting from two poignant and prophetic lines by the martyred Spanish poet Federico Garcia Lorca, look at his spent body blackened with shadows and wolves. William Herrick's novel evokes a contemporary Spain where the fraternal clash of loyalists and fascists has given way to the conflict between conservatives and revolutionaries, fathers and sons. In his portraits of the punctilious General Luis Alfera Fernandez, who never questioned the wishes of his general, and his terrorist son, Adolfo, who always questioned his father's arbitrary authority, Herrick has fashioned a narrative as stark and mercilessly lighted as the Andalusian landscape. As the author describes his own intentions, after I had come in contact with a young Spanish revolutionary whose father was a high official in the Guardia Civil, it occurred to me how the young revolutionaries of Spain confronted and dealt with their ultra-nationalistic and conservative fathers. Sorry. Occurred to me how they, would determine in some measure the future of Spain after Franco died. I was also interested in discovering for myself the character of the man who actually pulled the trigger of the gun which killed a man as gentle and decent as Federico Garcia Lorca, a poet not only of genius but whose work, though transcending national boundaries and culture, depicts the very heart and soul of Spain. So I invented him.
So this reminded me.
This sounds great. I got to read this.
Yeah, like
soon.
today.
Yeah.
Herrick did fight in the Spanish Civil War.
Hell yeah.
So
rocks.
I know. He was born to Jewish parents who had come to the United States from Belarus.
Look at this guy.
He's from.
Look at that
I know.
guy.
Let me put it up to the camera.
Look at that guy.
He's from Trenton, New Jersey, which is just like adds a layer to it that's just so fun. And then he was among the Abraham Lincoln Brigade, which was apparently a brigade of, I think it was like volunteer.
Hell yeah.
Let me just look at that real quick.
Herrick?
Yeah, he's a super interesting dude. I have his autobiography, but I haven't read it yet.
Nice.
Okay. So my next book is a book that you've kind of semi-read, and I have not read at all. This is The Obscene Bird of Night by Jose Donoso, translated by
Megan McDowell.
That's correct. And Hardy St. Martin and Leonard Mades.
Yes, that was a new edition. You'll see under your left hand on the cover. The front cover.
Oh.
Unabridged.
Oh.
When it was originally translated into English, there were a couple chapters that were cut out.
Okay.
I don't know the lore behind it. I just know that like some of the book was edited out.
Yeah.
And so this is the full original narrative.
Cool.
Into English for the first time.
Yeah,
so
McDowell's great.
If someone in the comments knows more of the specifics, like I said, I don't even remember the amount of text that was cut out. I think it was 2 chapters. It could be more, it could be less. It could have been like pages, not a chapter. Who knows? But
yeah, McDowell's translated a ton of shit.
A ton. Yeah.
So she translated Our Share of Night, which I have sitting on my couch.
I saw that you have a copy of that. I wanted to grab a copy. I was hoping because I ended up going to Gibson's.
Oh, you
for
did?
the sale too.
Nice. You didn't call me? What the fuck?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
And I wanted to grab a copy of that.
Yeah.
But because I've seen it around.
Yeah.
And I like remember when it came out in English, and I was like, that sounds pretty good, but it was hardcover.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to pay $30 for this book.
Yeah, it's not a cheap book. I bought it at Gibson's Zone. I think it was the only copy they had.
Yeah.
So
I remember I looked ahead.
It's payback for the Herrick.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, I looked ahead unless you went like 2 days before me or something like that.
Yeah, I went on Friday morning. Yeah.
And I forget when I looked, but it said they didn't even have it in stock. So
yeah. She's translated Fever Dream, which we've both read by Samantha Schweblin.
yeah,
I'm just looking to see if there's anything else on here that.
she's translated a ton of Spanish.
A ton. I don't think I've read anything else. Oh, she lives in Chile. That's cool. So yeah, Obscene Bird of Night. This was originally published in the 60s. Is that right?
That sounds about right.
Let's check here. 1970.
Yeah.
Translated by McDowell in 2024. I don't know what number this is because this is a advanced reader copy, so they didn't number it. But
yeah, Donoso's cool. He's kind of like a kind of like the darker side and a forgotten writer from the Latin American boom.
I'll just read the synopsis here. In a maze of musty, forgotten hallways, Mudito rummages through piles of discarded objects, muttering to himself. There are plots afoot. Old women are hunting him through the halls, and it is hunting, not haunting. Are they concerned friends or witches out to capture him, bind him, change him into something unrecognizable? The mute caretaker has his own quarry, a young orphan girl whom he will entrap and use in a twisted ploy for revenge. And as the story whirls on like a vortex of rotting lacework, voices that shift and multiply weave a horrifyingly familiar reality of paranoia, illusion, and lies, where each is trapped within their own Russian doll of unstable selves, shrinking, decaying, always scratching towards a memory of youth, power, and glory. I mean, that just sounds insane.
Yeah, I definitely want to let me know when you get around to reading it.
Look at that cover design, too.
Yeah, let me know because I would love to reread it. I have finished the book.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes, but I was, it's 500-ish pages. I was somewhere around the 300-page mark and then went through a very bad breakup.
Yep.
And just couldn't focus on anything, let alone dense Chilean literature. But I was loving it. And I kind of just went through the motions and finished it, but I don't remember any of it, really. But I remember saying to a number of people while I was reading it that it reminded me, it's a dark and twisted Marquez.
That's cool.
It was so good.
Speaking of a bad breakup, the now secret episode of the podcast was this week, 2 years ago.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Kind of funny.
Yeah.
All right, what do you got next?
How about that? Up next, I have The Book of Disquiet, the complete edition by Fernando Pessoa, and this is translated from the Portuguese by Margaret Jewel Costa.
She translated The Land at the End of the World by Antonio Lobo and Tunes, who recently
translated
passed away.
a bunch of stuff.
R.I.P. to him.
But this is a really cool edition.
See, Spanish?
Portuguese. So
that makes sense because she translated it Tunes, but I think she translates Spanish as well.
Yeah, I think so too. But this is kind of like a fragmented diary of like I said, like a diary, like journal entries, just kind of scraps of aphorisms of Pessoa himself as a poet. So there's some kind of like poetry in there. There's some prose poetry, just kind of like fragments of writing, kind of a almost like a journalized autobiography. I believe it was definitely published. I think it was published posthumously. It was not something that like
I've heard it's kind of like the Portuguese Ulysses.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, just to kind of pick some of there's a ton of praise on the inside cover. I've had a couple false starts with it where I've just started and then not really.
I've heard it's super difficult.
I mean, what I've read so far like isn't necessarily difficult. I mean, it is like philosophical, and also to read this quote from Pessoa himself, it is the saddest book in Portugal.
Okay.
So, and I have definitely heard other people say that like it is the saddest book they've ever read.
Wow.
So, I've read some of his poetry and really liked it. So, I've picked at it here and there, but I'll read this quote off the back. Like, not really a synopsis, but just something from Pessoa. I created various personalities within myself. I create them constantly. Every dream, as soon as it is dreamed, is immediately embodied by another person who dreams it instead of me. In order to create, I destroyed myself. I have externalized so much of my inner life that even inside I now exist only externally. To act is to exile oneself.
Cool.
And I'll just see if like there's something worthwhile that I've stickied.
It's also a lot longer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
How many pages is it?
470.
Oh, that's it? Looks thicker than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people talk about it. I don't know. Something about it it's like doesn't really super
I think you
catch my eye.
I think if you go in like, and like I said, I've had like some false starts with it just because it is on paper. Like I was talking to Buddy about this. Like it's a kind of a cool one you can just have like on the nightstand.
Yeah.
And just like read a couple entries before bed or when you wake up in the morning or something like that. I've had it here and there, like in my desk at work. I can read at lunch, and then just kind of. It's how I am a lot of times with like books that I have set aside to just like graze.
Yeah.
Like in theory, I'm like, oh, this is a good one to read like every now and then every now and then turns into once a week, and then I fall off, and I start going towards the book that I'm been actually reading every day that has like a narrative. So
before I go over my last book, I will just quickly look at Instagram. I had asked my Instagram audience what their favorite New Directions books are, and we got some interesting responses. Somebody said on the calculation of volumes 1 through 3. Have you read any of those?
No. And
I've heard very mixed reviews about them.
I haven't really heard any reviews about them. But on principle, I have decided like I'm not gonna buy them.
Which principle are we standing on here?
The principle of, as you can like see, based on that, they're like volumes like 1, 2, 3. None of them are very long.
Okay.
And they are priced like full books.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not 100% sure on this, so someone please check me in the comments if I'm wrong. Like whatever language they originally published in, like volumes 1 and 2 were one book, and volumes 2 and 3 and 4 were.
Gotcha.
So like,
so they're milking it a little bit.
They were further separated out,
okay.
And then have been published as individual books, which in theory is fine. But they're charging like $20 a pop for these short little books that are really like half a book.
Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game.
I am hating the game.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not even hating the game. I'm just not going to financially support the game.
Do we know what they're even about?
No, I don't have a clue.
Okay.
Moving on.
So somebody said, let's see here. The next person, Will's a bit confused, said Nightwood by Juna Barnes, which I have a copy of.
I do too. Great book.
And he said Love and Terror by William Herrick, which is surprising because, as we mentioned, it's hard to get. But also it's worth noting, Love and Terror has been rated 26 times on Goodreads.
Yeah.
To give an indication of how popular that book is. It is quite obscure. So
yeah, for sure.
Shout out to Will. He might be confused, but he's in an elite club of folks who've read Love and Terror.
Hell yeah.
Minor Detail, which is a book we both liked.
Yeah, that's a good book.
By Jesus Christ, what's the author's name? Adonia Shibley.
Yeah.
All of the Bolaños, anything by John Hawkes. Lots of people said Krasnohorkai. A lot of people said Clarissa Spector. The Love of Singular Men by Victor Heringer. Not familiar with that, are you?
I think that was a recent publication.
Okay. And then this person also said The Emissary by Yoko Tawada. Somebody said all of them.
All of them.
The Kites by Roman Gary. You familiar with that?
No.
I haven't heard of that either. His Name Was Death by Raphael Bernal. I'm not familiar with it, but pretty cool title.
Yeah.
A couple of people shouting out Hurricane Season. Tough Poet Press says their annuals. Do they have like a magazine?
I think they used to. I don't know if I mean they must if it's still getting some press, but
Adventures in Immediate Reality by Max Blecher. That sounds like a cool. I mean, just based on the title, it sounds cool.
yeah.
Dazai. So they published Osamu Dazai, the Japanese author. No Longer Humans, his very famous book.
Yes.
It's a good book. Very bleak, often compared to The Stranger by Camus. So someone said Dubravka Ugresich's Museum of Unconditional Surrender. Open Letter publishes a lot of Ugresich. Alejandra Pizarnak's Extracting the Stone of Madness. I haven't read any of Pizarnak, but it was a book I read last year and did not like, and it's like references her quite a bit.
Yeah.
So I don't want to hold that against her, but I didn't love that. Dasha Drndic, who is up for the book.
They
they published her book called Doppelganger.
There's another one of hers that I believe they published.
Oh, cool.
Belladonna is what it's called.
And then someone said Attila and Attila. That is Open Letter, not New Directions. Okay.
Another one that I just want to quickly that I was thinking of while you were reading that list. Not one that I probably would have put in my top 3, so to speak. Didn't necessarily work for me, but I think it might be for some other people. My Search for Warren Harding by Robert Plunkett.
Okay.
I've heard that it's a favorite of Larry David's.
Okay.
And it was a book that he regularly gave as a gift.
Interesting.
It certainly reads like a Seinfeld plot.
I'm in.
It's about this guy who is gets a research grant he's kind of a bumbling idiot, but he's a research grant to write a paper about Warren G. Harding. And he finds out about this woman who presumably Harding had a love affair with, who has like a collection of love letters that Harding wrote her. And is trying to con this woman out of her collection of Warren G. Harding
Love it.
work so that he can write this essay or whatever about the former president.
Sick.
So, but
Sounds
yeah,
cool.
it didn't
You didn't love it?
I didn't love it. Like I said, it certainly had a very sitcom-y vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, I just didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
But fun book.
Cool.
So I just wanted to shout that out.
The last book on my list today is a book that I have talked about recently because we did this in our kind of 2026 projections episode. But this is The German Lesson by Siegfried Lenz. This is NDP number 1493 and was published originally in German in 1968. And then the English translation was 1971 by Ernst Kaiser and I don't know how to pronounce this name, and Wilkins. E. Wilkins, we'll call her. I believe that's a woman's name. So this is around World War II, living in Germany. It's about a kid who's in a juvenile detention center, and he has to write an essay about the joys of duty. I think it heavily satirizes fascism.
Yep.
I am still plugging away at The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. I actually pretty much predominantly switched to the audiobook of that, which is the narration's excellent. And it's the type of book where you're not reading it for the prose.
Right.
So I'm not.
Yeah.
And because it has snowed so much this year, that's been my plowing
Nice.
audiobook. And
funny.
it is kind of funny to me. It's I plow my driveway with a pretty large 4-wheeler, and because you just couldn't get a truck up here.
No.
And I'll be pushing the snow down, and my neighbors will be walking their dog, and they'll wave, and it'll be and then the night of the broken glass, and all these people were killed, and it's just man, if people knew what I was listening to, they'd probably be what the hell is wrong with that guy?
Yeah. Right. And you have a look about you of
yes, correct.
If you're gonna judge a book by its cover, you might be
as I always
interested
say,
in a different part of that history from a different.
It's not. I don't own a copy of Mein Kampf or anything like that, which I really just do not see any reason for.
No.
I will tell you though, I am just tagging the timestamp for any time. It's like, oh, that could have been like a headline from today.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff.
Right. I'm sure.
But yeah, and just also as far as my look is concerned, this is my default setting.
Yeah.
I do very little to maintain this look, so this is just how I am.
Yeah, listen, I'm not like things aren't much different on this end of the table.
Yeah.
Like from a certain, I was talking about this with someone recently, like from 15 yards away, and not talking to me for 90 seconds. If someone's going to judge this book by its cover, you might think like.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
let's wrap this
fun little
shit.
digression.
Let's wrap this shit up.
I'm finally, I'm a little chilly now that the sweat has dried from all the shoveling.
I gotta walk down the driveway.
Good luck.
And you're telling me
you should probably just slide. You should just sit down and slide down the driveway. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Join us next week when we'll be talking about books.